this MegaCon. There we go. How we doing?
And more importantly, how are you doing? How's this con been treating you?
I'm excited. I mean, it's good to be in the South again a little bit. From Georgia, North Georgia mountains, so it's nice to come swing back. I like humidity, sorry. But I live in Cali, so I do love that weather too. But people complain about humidity. To me, it's like,
Well, we are going to do some fan questions, but I'm going to kick things off first with some questions for you. One of my questions I've been really enjoying talking with actors about this weekend has been, what are some of the movies and performances that kind of helped to shape you as an actor, just as a fan of the things you were watching growing up that kind of informed your decisions?
wow, what a great question. Well, I grew up, we had a 6-inch by 6-inch or 12-inch by 12-inch black and white TV, and we lived on a dirt road in Georgia. We got 2 channels. So I watched a lot of MASH and Hee-Haw and weird stuff like that. So actually Hawkeye from MASH. I always loved his swagger and the way he was, so that probably influenced me. Some only show I saw. And just movies. My 3 brothers, and our first real cinematic experience was the first Star Wars, probably 8. So Han Solo, obviously, like, wow, this guy's cool. And we didn't have a TV or anything, so we had, Mom bought us the record. So we had the vinyl record with the storybook. So, still to this day, if I'm fishing with my brothers, we could break into any scene. We could each know all the parts. So those would be the 2, Hawkeye and Han Solo.
Was there like some play acting that you guys were doing, recreating the scenes with kids with the soundtracks in the background?
Of course.
Oh yeah.
We were constantly, doing scenes from like, and I left you, others but to none. And another brother, only a master of evil, so it's anywhere, anywhere. So
Did you collect any of those the Kenner action figures that came out at that time?
Yes, we had quite a few of them, and then we blew them up with M80s. It wasn't a country when you did it. Great fun. So they were missing arms and everything.
Canon accurate, right? So your career began in the modeling world, and I'm curious to know, how did that experience kind of shape where your career took you?
Wow, that was just the wildest experience. I grew up on a dirt road in Georgia, and then next thing you know, I'm in Milan. I took a Greyhound bus to New York City, took 24 hours. I sat next to a rapper guy, young, and I bet he got famous. I wonder who he is. He rapped me the entire there. But I did years of modeling, went all over the world, saw the world, and it was really that. It gave me such life experience that could go anywhere in acting. And I lived in Italy. I was speaking only Italian. I lived with this Italian woman in Bologna. And, you just learn different cultures. On trains everywhere and planes. So it was just really expansive. It really opened my eyes to the world. I had so many different perspectives then. That's what travel does. It opens your mind to different perspectives. Everyone has different views and different countries, different religions, different language, money. So for me, I use life experiences in my acting, so that just really, and I wasn't acting at the time, and I met this, there was a 4-day intensive about cold reading. So how to bring your life experiences to acting. And it was taught by Corey Allen, who played Buzz, opposite James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause. and he was looked like Obi-Wan Kenobi, had a long beard, and had Parkinson's. He's like, everyone look at this, work hard to get past this shit. I was like, oh, I like this guy, he's cool. So that was what turned me on to acting, because I was like, wow, I have a lot of life experience, so if I can bring in. So that let me on.
All became part of your acting toolbox,
Yes.
essentially. And that kind of brings me to my next question, which is, when lost, what are some of the things that you learned from that experience, being on a television show for a number of years, playing a character that was so well received and so loved by audiences, that then you've been able to kind of internalize and take with you into other projects, or even to be able to give advice to other people that may look up to you in the industry, just the things that you've learned from that experience?
Wow. I mean, you learn so much, and back then, you know, it's not an 8 episode, 10 episodes, it's 22, 24, it's a monster, 14 cast members. It was just amazing. And for me, I grew up, I probably had 16, 17 jobs before I left Georgia, all kind of hard labor, construction and stuff, so I was used to working long and hard. So I learned that no one can outwork me. People start to crumble around hour 15. I'm like, oh, let's go. So it gave me endurance, confidence to bring myself more, because JJ, the first day I was trying to have some no accent, because he was from Buffalo, so in the script. Buffalo, I wasn't going to be like, yo, Joey. I didn't have any training, so I was like, I'm just doing no accent. And JJ's like, what you're doing's good. I'm like, oh shit, I'm fired. And he's like, no, but it sounds like you're trying not to have an accent. I was like, yeah, he's from Buffalo. And he set me free right there. He's like, no, where are you from? Georgia. He's like, sorry, from Georgia. Wow, so that really gave me permission to bring myself and that cadence to the character, more than him being a southern man. It's more cadence to me. So yeah, I mean, I learned a lot about trusting yourself and trusting in other people, and that we make TV shows and movies about relationships, not about, I mean, other things are important, but it's the relationships that matter. And I learned that from that. That was such a character study.
Definitely. I feel like Sawyer is such a good character study in and of himself, and I'm curious to know, looking back at, even before you were on set, what the audition process was like for that character. Was there other people up for the running? Were you always kind of in the lead? Like, it's so interesting to learn about the process of finding the exact right person.
Oh, it was tough. They were not playing, and I was quitting again. My wife now, 22 years, we've been here 27 years. She was my girlfriend at the time, and I was quitting again, so we had that conversation the night before. I was like, I'm gonna be a forest ranger in real estate. You in? She's like, I'm in. I'm like, okay, quitting this thing. And I was doing a job, and this is no joke, it was called My Roommate's a Big Fat Slut. I don't think it ever aired. It was a comedy, and I was playing the facilitator of a sex anonymous class. And then my wife called, or girlfriend at the time, said, there's this audition that came through, and it shoots in Hawaii, and it's tomorrow. And it was a freaking long monologue, and I was so ready to work, it was late. I was like, oh, I gotta really try for this one. This is my last shot, I'm quitting. So I learned it in between waiting on that set, and went the next morning and met JD and Damon. And you just go through the first process, right? So it was a monologue, had to keep ramping up, and I couldn't get it right away, so I kicked the chair across the room, and they were like, oh, perfect. Then I had to do another one, and it just gets more people in there. Then you have to test for ABC, and then you have to test for ABC and Disney, so all the room gets full of grass, and it gets harder. So I remember I'd never done this, and I was on my way to that test, nervous as hell. And I stopped at a liquor store and got a tiny one of those airplane bottles, tequila. Pulled on the set, and it was the old animation building in Disney, so Mickey was up there, and I was like, thank you, Mickey. And I even got the job.
Last year, I guess technically not the year before, but Duster, you reunited with JJ on that. I'm still so sad that
Me too.
canceled.
It was good, it was good.
What was the experience like getting to kind of come back and work with somebody again that you've worked with before? And also, do you kind of know maybe where things were headed for your character?
Yeah, it was amazing working with JJ. It felt like putting on your favorite pair of jeans. You know, like, finally, I know the writing's gonna be good. Oh, sorry. Oh, wow. All right. So you know the writing's gonna be good, and it's your friend, and they have confidence in you. So it was fun. Also, I sent myself to stunt school, so I did 85% all the stunt driving in that, and it was just fun. The fashion, the music, it was like sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It's the 70s, so it was fun, and I can't believe they didn't pick it up, but it was getting deeper. We were now going to find my brother who worked for the CIA, and then I was going to get dragged into working with the CIA, and it was going to get complex. So. Say love me.
No, it's so sad. It was very good.
Yeah, I can still, parallel park at full speed.
Another question I've been enjoying asking this weekend has been, obviously when you're at these conventions, people are usually here for one or two main projects that you've worked on that they're wanting autographs for. And obviously probably here it's Lost, but are there other projects in your filmography that you are particularly proud of? Whether it be the role itself, something that kind of impacted you while filming it, or just like the experience of making it?
Wow. Well, Duster was amazing, that last one, because it gave me that skill set. I was proud. I did a couple of comedies. I started in comedy, of all things. One called Moving August, which I don't think you can find anywhere, or maybe Tubi, something like that. And one called Dr. Benny, where I played I don't know why I keep heading these sex things, but it was an unconventional sex counselor, and his name was Feb with a PH, short for February. He just was shirtless with shiny Adidas and flip flops. I had like spiky hair, and I had a portrait behind me, and the same, so I'd match the angle. So I started comedy, and I love comedy. People don't really let me do comedy very often, and I love creating big characters like that. So maybe somebody let me do that.
And more comedy.
Yes.
Thinking about it, there was a lot of humor to Sawyer too, because he used it sometimes to disarm.
Yes.
How did you kind of thread that balance of disarming and also just genuine charm within the character?
Well, I wanted to survive. He wasn't the nicest guy at first. He was a reluctant hero, I guess, anti-hero. But that was a lot of it. I was like, damn, anytime they would give me any place to give him any humanity or comedy, and they had me, saying all these things to Jorge, all these jokes, and I was just like, oh, how am I going to survive this? So I remember I suggested the glasses because I was like, how can I say steak puffed and stuff like that and disarm and make me the ridiculous looking. So I was like, children's glasses. I need children's glasses like Winnie the Pooh or something. Wear those while I'm saying all this. I'll look stupid.
Yeah.
And so that's where that came from.
I can see your comedy roots coming through there.
Yes,
I
yes,
love
yes.
that. You know, something that was kind of interesting about Lost is it is a huge ensemble cast, which means at the end of the day, not everybody gets to have screen time with each other as often as maybe they would like. Are there specific dynamics that you always, like, you've got your sides, you're like, oh, finally I get to have a scene with them today, and like, just play and have that fun on screen?
Yeah, funny enough, I always liked working with Jack, with the duck, because there was such heat between us, and we were friends. We really are similar people. He loves to fry fish. He's from Wyoming, and I'm from Georgia. You know, we're just dudes. And so it was good. But he always brought the heat, and I brought it back. So that was fun. And Terry O'Quinn, I always loved working with him because it was just easy. He made everything easy. And of course, Evie, me and her, just everybody. And that's what was so great about the show. I wanted to be any character on that show. And I only got one scene with Ian, with Desmond, just hunting that pig. So we were like, damn, I need more scenes together because we get along really well too. So that would have been nice. More scenes with him.
And speaking of scenes, there are so many memorable scenes. The cage scene, there's a lot of stuff out there that people talk about when it comes to Lost, but are there specific scenes that you look back at and you think about just how hard it was to film a scene? Like, because it takes a lot of work to make a scene.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
1 minute could be 3 days of filming.
Yeah, the raft stuff was tough because we were not in a swimming pool. We were out there in the ocean. And you had, you know, the little raft, and you had the film boat next to that, and your close-ups, it's always moving. And people also get seasick. I mean, have middle takes, they're like da 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 da, and someone's camera crew right in front of you, you're like, wait for that. Da, 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 da. You know, but I remember we did 78 setups in one night. And we were wearing wetsuits, and we just couldn't,
No way.
No way.
Here's that.
No, just kidding.
just kidding.
It was dark.
System failure. System failure.
Well, what a way to go.
Are we in Supernatural?
That's a new.
What do you guys think? Is it safe?
Does it say?
Is that what you're on?
Okay.
I think so.